Hey, what's up guys? Justin with Tier 1 Tactical. Today I want to take a look at the Condor Bushglider. This thing is basically the pterosaur with a few added features. Well, honestly, in my opinion, a few taken away features. And we'll get into that here in a second. But first, let's go over the specs. The blade length is 4.2 inches, 1095 high carbon steel. Handle length 4.9, which is made out of polypropylene, just like the sheath. Overall length 9.1 inches with a thickness 0.10. Now, as you can see, it has this huge clip point with semi-sharp swedge, and to be honest, right out of the box, that swedge was just as sharp as this. And this thing has a flat grind on it, which flat grind is really good for like bushcrafting and stuff like that. But obviously it has this huge secondary bevel. I mean, ginormous secondary bevel. And that really held the knife back from doing any task, you know, in an efficient way, should I say. I really had a lot of trouble feather sticking and batoning, but as you can see here, every little knot that I came into contact with, it would stop automatically. A lot of pieces came flying off. I mean, the geometry is just completely off with this knife. But it got the job done. And in a survival situation, honestly, I would prefer having something a little different. In my personal opinion now, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings talking bad about Condor, because I love Condor. I like the stuff Joe Flowers does. He seems like a good guy. I've never met him, of course, but he has some great ideas. But the BPS knives, carbon steel, Bushcraft knife, has a Scandi grind, a lot of surface area to baton on. It's just a much better knife. And again, I hate to say that. This is $25 compared to $50. The sheath is much better also. I mean, $25. Which one would you rather have? And right out of the box, this thing was razor sharp. Obviously, I had to put a working edge on this before I did any type of feather sticking. Now, getting into the batoning. As you can see, right here, it went through the smaller stuff fairly easy. But it wasn't until I got to the thicker piece that the knife pretty much gave up on me. It made it about a quarter of the way through, and the baton I had made for it was completely getting torn up by the sharpened swedge. I mean, this thing has a nasty tip on it, and every time I was batoning, that's exactly the area I was hitting, of course. Now, I kept having to go back and hit towards the handle to try and work it out, which it ultimately got stuck because I did not want to tear up my baton beating it all the way through. That could be a problem, especially in the woods. You know, say you try to split a larger log and this thing gets stuck halfway through, you're screwed. It's possible you may break that blade in half. So, again, there's much better tools on the market for bushcraft tasks, like the more Bushcraft Black, of course, $35. I think, in my opinion, has a much better handle, much better grind, ergonomics, everything's much better. And an even better choice would be the Tops Bob 154, which will run you close to $200. But price-wise, either one of these two would be a much better option than this. But you can, if you have like a work sharp or you have a belt grinder, you could take this down to a full flat grind and it'll probably perform well. But you still have that sharpened swedge, or semi-sharpened swedge, should I say, on the back here that's going to hold you back from your batoning tasks. So think about that, you know, before you buy this knife. If you're wanting to put it in your survival kit or your bug out bag, there's much better options out there. This blade here, I think, honestly, I hate to say it, but I believe they threw it together because the pterosaur was so popular and they wanted to try and up the ante. But in my opinion, it failed miserably. The pterosaur is such a better knife. This ain't even in the realm of the pterosaur. But I took my pterosaur and I removed that secondary bevel the moment I got it, and it performed quite well. Of course, it has a lot more real estate to baton with, but I honestly don't entirely see the point in this knife other than them trying to make a little bit extra money off the pterosaur. But that's just my opinion, you know. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm just a guy who uses these things. So, on that note, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like, all that, and I'll see you guys on the next one.